Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. I've been a little bit rubbish and quiet with my videos recently. Probably noticed that I've not really posted the Chester Half Marathon project anymore. Now, I am still planning on doing the Chester Half Marathon, but I've sort of just stopped filming the training just because I think my head and heart were really in it like it should be, and it felt a bit forced. Originally when I started the series, I really did want to sort of push it, go for a PB. I was so close to like the sub 2 hours last year, like fitness wise, and probably could have gone for sub 2 hours at Great North, but decided to take it easy at Great North because it was 2 weeks before Berlin. And last year it'll be the year before now, when I went for it at Berlin, I sort of crashed. When I went for it, at Great North, I crashed at Berlin. Now, it probably had nothing to do with it, but I was just wanting to be really careful, so I took it easy at Great North and just sort of enjoyed it. So I wanted to really go for the sub 2 hours this year, and that was my plan, but I've just not really felt like it's been there. My training's just been up and down a bit at the minute. Like, I'm running fast, then I'm struggling, and there's no, like, I don't really know, I'm just a bit all over at the minute. So I thought I was just putting unnecessary pressure on myself to sort of film it and try push when my heart's not really in it. So I am still going to do Chester Half. I'm obviously still going to go for it and see what happens. Do I think I'm going to get it sub 2 hours? Definitely not. I just don't feel like I'm at the right fitness at all. And also it's just been my 30th birthday and I'm literally exploded on cake right now. So I'll probably be more rolling around than running around. But I've still got a few more weeks, so that's okay, I guess. But I'm not going to film the series anymore because, so people will be able to relate. Like, I just sometimes find the pressure a lot. When you put yourself on, like, YouTube and Instagram, like, I do post a lot on my Instagram. I've got a decent amount of followers on Instagram and people track me and stuff, which is lovely. And I absolutely love it. That sometimes when you're just not feeling yourself, it can feel a lot of pressure. And I know that I said I wanted to go for a PB so people would watch for that, and now I'm just not feeling it. So that's in the back of my mind, like, oh, I'm just going to let people down. So that's why I've decided to sort of take a step back from the series, because I'm just not in the right frame to push for it. And I always said, like, when I really, really used to pressure myself all the time, and I used to get really down and really upset, and then be embarrassed to post when I'd not done well, I sort of vowed that I wouldn't put myself under pressure anymore, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I started to feel the pressure, so I'm taking a step back from it, and that's all it is. And I'm only taking a step back from the actual Chester Half Marathon series. I've still got parkrun videos to come out when I actually finally get my ass into gear to edit them and get them online, because at the minute I've just been so busy that I've just not had time. So I do have parkrun videos coming out, so do watch out for them. But I've not filmed too many parkruns at the minute because I've been going for a bit more of times and stuff. So I did like a 28-minute parkrun at Heslington a couple of weeks ago, which I didn't film, but I got dead on 28 minutes. I really wanted sub 28. To be fair, actually, I just wanted a parkrun PB because my parkrun PB was 28:40. My 5k PB is 26:44, so quite a difference. So I just wanted to try and get as close to my 5k PB. So I got dead on 28 minutes, but I was super chuffed, but would have loved to dip under the 28, but not to be that day. So I've just sort of been enjoying it a bit more, getting back into the swing of things, because I will be filming my Chicago Marathon training series, which I will be doing because that will help motivate me. And I'm going to try not let myself to feel like the pressure or anything to do with that. So I'm just going to go. I'm going to be doing, I've got a few races coming up. I think my next one, I can't even remember. I've got a few races coming up, but I actually can't remember my next one. I think actually my next one is pacing at the Grimsby 10k and pacing 65 minutes, which I'm really looking forward to. I'm going to have a quick look at my calendar because I can't even remember, because I think I've got a few weeks of so actually I'm putting myself a month ahead. My next race is actually the Chester Half. Goodness. Yeah, Grimsby's in June. So I've got the Chester half. Then I'm doing a Wolds relay, which is like 77 miles altogether. My leg's only 8 miles, thankfully. My leg is actually one of the decent length ones. I think the longest one is like 9 miles, which Stuart's doing, and the rest are all about 8 miles. The hardest leg's only 3 miles because that's all uphill. And then a week after that is the Grimsby 10k. So I've got like back-to-back races, but obviously Grimsby I'm just pacing 65 minutes. And then I'm supposed to have the Humber Bridge half, which I think, we're not sure if that's going ahead this year. There's been a lot of complications with road closures. It's quite for those that know about the Humber Bridge or anything like that, it's like a crazy busy area to actually block off. Now there is a path to the side, but they used to use the road, and then going into Barton is just crazy busy. I was given not really given a free place. It's not, and it is. We were doing the Hull Marathon relay, which is then cancelled. We've had the Hull Marathon in place for quite a few years. And then COVID and everything, and then we obviously got moved on to the Humber Bridge half, but I don't think the Humber Bridge half's going to go ahead. And then I'll probably be starting my marathon training around then. 22nd of May is 20 weeks to Chicago, and then I'll be doing like a for it, like a build up for it, and then I'm going to start my training the week of the 19th of June, and that week is Endure 24, so I'll get some miles in there because I did 25 miles at Endure last year. So I would like to aim for 30 miles this year. Obviously, Enjoy is just a 24-hour team event. There's 4 of us in the team this year. And you just run as many laps in 24 hours, but it's like one person at a time out of your team. So there was a team of 5 last year. I'm in a team of 4 this year. So I'd like to try do 30 miles. The loops are about 5 miles. Oh, it's about 8k, which works out just under 5 miles. It's a really good event. I'm really excited for that one. So yeah, Chicago is obviously the big one that I've got coming up. That I will be training the full training block for it. I do apologise for being rubbish on the Chester one, but for my sake, I just need to not think about it. Because at the end of the day, Chicago is the main goal for me. And sometimes I get carried away when you're marathon training and then you do well at the lower distance. I sort of get carried away of doing everything else. Half marathon is my absolute favourite distance that sometimes I do forget and just want to go for it at the half all the time. But with my head just not being in it, I need to be sensible, keep my head straight, ready for Chicago, because this is what I want. So the plan for Chicago was something I thought, well, actually a friend of mine thought about it and I was like, that's actually really good. So when I did Berlin Marathon, I was on for 4:45 pretty much all the way around. Obviously started to struggle in the last miles like you do, and I came in at 4:51. Still a huge 48-minute PB, and absolutely chuffed with it because the goal was just sub 5. Well, I said was sub 5 hours. So to go under by about 9 minutes, I was absolutely chuffed. And like I said, it was a 48-minute PB. So this year I thought, well, I might as well go for the sub 4:45 since I was on for it all the time last year. So I'm going to call the Chicago Project 444. So the average pace for that would be for 4 hours, 44 minutes and 44 seconds, just to be, would be about an average of 10:52 pace. So I can do that pace. It's different over a marathon. Marathon's such a long way. So I can obviously do that pace because I paced landmarks for 2 hours 20, and that was average of 10:40 pace, I think. I think it was about 10:40 average pace. So I know that I can obviously do it for a half and quite with ease because obviously I paced it. So it's just obviously slowing the pace a tiny bit more, but actually going for double the distance. So I think for my marathon training, which I've not really done before, would be like sort of maybe stealing some training ideas like what the Welsh runner did, where he did like 5k on, 1k off and stuff at marathon pace. Quite like the session. Stuart does a lot of that session. Now last year in Berlin training, I did actually do a 20-mile run which all was under goal pace, and that wasn't intentional. I just felt great. And obviously I did Berlin in 2021 and the goal then was sub 5. But for those that do follow my Instagram and my channel and stuff will know that in 2021 the wheels just fell completely off. I came in at like 5:38 or something, which was still a big PB then, but it wasn't what I'd been training for or what I could run. Just on the day it just did not go right, and to be honest, like, I was close to just DNFing, but it was only because the race was so expensive and we'd obviously travelled to Berlin for it that I decided I pushed myself to finish. But it was painful and I really struggled. So that's why we obviously went to Berlin a year later to achieve the sub 5, and I absolutely smashed it. So so the plan obviously this year, sub 4:45, so that's going to be the plan. I'll be training all that, filming all the training. Probably be, like I say, it'll be 20 weeks in total, but 4 weeks will just be like the build up to it. It'll be actually 16 weeks training, so I'll probably just do the filming for the 16 weeks, and then I will obviously do some filming in Chicago, and I'm not sure if I'm going to film the race. Obviously it's not till October, so I've got a long time to think about it, whether I want to run with the camera or not. Running with the camera might actually motivate me, because I quite enjoyed actually running with it at London, but obviously I know I did London a week after, so I'm really going for a time. But yeah, so that is the update. I will be bringing more videos out, and obviously look out for Project 444, and I hope you all follow it and send me good luck vibes to get me around the training. I am nervous for the training, excited and nervous. I'm excited to get back into a routine and get some miles in my legs, because obviously this year I've just sort of done what I want and I've got no routine. I need the miles in my legs, so I just want the routine and get back into it. But obviously nervous about the long runs and the tough long runs, and I imagine last summer was so hot. I don't know if this summer's going to be really hot. I don't do well. As you probably see, I'm extremely pale. I do not do well in heat. So we'll see what this year brings, but I am excited. And also I just want to say thank you for all your support so far. And I did do Yorkshire Wildlife 10k last week or the week before, last week, and 2 people like cheered me on and said they watched the channel, and I absolutely loved it. I didn't film that day, but I do appreciate it when people like obviously shout that they love my channel and everything. I do really appreciate it. It does keep me motivated to do it. So thanks for all your support, and I'll get some parkrun videos out for you very soon when I get them up, and then obviously here comes the training block, and obviously there'll be some race videos coming up as well in the next few weeks. So thanks again, and I will see you next time on the channel.